So Eve became Margot's understudy. Naturally, I assumed that Margot approved. One afternoon, Margot went to the theater. Someone else was leading the cast, and Margot had consented to help with an audition. A friend of Addison DeWitt's, a Miss Caswell, was trying out for the part.
Margot, how nice to see you.
Why aren't you in the theater, Addison, at the side of your protege lending her moral support?
Oh, but I did. The audition, however, is over.
But it can't be. I came here to read with Miss Caswell.
The audition was called for 2:30. It's now nearly 4.
Is it really? Who read with Miss Caswell? Bill?
No.
Lloyd?
No.
Well, who then?
Naturally enough, your understudy.
Well, I consider it highly unnatural to allow a girl in an advanced state of pregnancy.
I refer to your new understudy, Miss Eve Harrington.
Eve? My understudy?
Oh, didn't you know?
Well, of course I knew.
I just slipped your mind.
How was Miss Caswell?
Frankly, I don't remember.
Just slipped your mind.
Completely. Nor can anyone else tell you how Miss Caswell read, or whether Miss Caswell read or rode a pogo stick.
Was she that bad?
Margot, as you know, I have lived in the theater as a Trappist monk lives in his faith. And once in a great while, I experienced that moment of revelation for which all true believers wait and pray. You were one, Eve Harrington is another.
I take it. She read well.
It was something made of fire and music. Brilliant, vivid, unforgettable.
How nice.
In time, she'll be what you are.
A mass of fire and music. That's me. An old kazoo with some sparklers. Tell me, was Bill swept away too, or were you too full of revelation to notice?
Bill didn't say, but Lloyd was beside himself. He listened to his play as if it had been written by someone else, he said. It sounded so fresh, so new, so full of meaning.
How nice for Lloyd. How nice for Eve. How nice for everyone.
Eve was incredibly modest. She insisted that Lloyd felt as he did only because she read his lines exactly as he'd written them.
The implication being that I have not been reading them as written?
And to the best of my recollection, neither your name nor your performance entered the conversation. May I give you a lift somewhere?
No, thank you, Addison. I'll just run on in so they'll know I did come after all. I must start wearing a watch. I never have, you know.
Well, how are you, darling?
Oh, terribly sorry I'm late, Matt. Lunch was on and I couldn't find a cab. Well, shall we start? Where's Miss Caswell? Oh, hello, Bill. Hello, Lloyd. Hello, Eve.
Hello, Miss Channing.
It's all over, Margot.
What's all over?
The audition. Eve read with Miss Caswell.
Eve? Oh, how enchanting. However did you get the idea of letting Eve read?
Well, she's your understudy.
Eve? My understudy? I had no idea.
Well, I thought you knew. She was put on over a week ago.
Miss Channing, I can't tell you how glad I am that you arrived so late.
Really, Eve? Why?
If you'd been here to begin with, I never would have dared to read at all. I couldn't have.
What a pity, all that fire and music going to waste.
What fire and music?
You wouldn't understand.
I was dreadful, Miss Channing, believe me.
Oh, I'm sure you underestimate yourself, Eve. You always do.
Oh, you'd have been proud of her, Margot. Eve was a revelation.
Ah, do you too, Lloyd?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, among other things, it must have been a revelation to have a 24-year-old character played by a 24-year-old actress. Also, it must have seemed so new and fresh to you, so exciting to have your lines read just as you wrote them.
Addison. You've seen Addison.
So full of meaning, fire, and music.
You've been talking to that fishwife, Addison DeWitt.
In this case, apparently as trustworthy as the World Almanac.
You knew when you came in that the audition was over, that Eve was your understudy, playing a childish little game of cat and mouse.
Not mouse, never mouse. If anything, rat.
This genius of yours for making a barroom brawl out of a perfectly innocent misunderstanding at most.
Perfectly innocent men have been hanged for less. I'm lied to, attacked behind my back, accused of reading your silly dialogue inaccurately, as if it were the holy gospel.
I never said it was.
When you listen as if someone else had written your play, whom do you have in mind? Arthur Miller, Sherwood, Beaumont, and Fletcher?
What makes you think either Miller or Sherwood would stand for the nonsense I take from you? You better stick to Beaumont and Fletcher. They've been dead for 300 years.
All playwrights should be dead for 300 years.
That would solve none of their problems, because actresses never die. The stars never die and never change.
Oh, you may change this star anytime you want for a new and fresh and exciting one, fully equipped with fire and music, anytime you want, starting with tonight's performance.
I shall never understand the weird process by which a body with a voice fancies itself as a mind. Just when exactly does an actress decide they're her words she's saying and her thoughts she's expressing?
Usually at the point when she has to rewrite and rethink them to keep the audience from leaving the theater.
It's about time the piano realized it has not written the concerto.
And you, I take it, Bill, are the Paderewski who plays his concerto. On me, the piano. Where is Princess Fire and Music?
Who?
The kid, Junior.
Gone?
Oh, so I must have frightened her away.
I wouldn't be surprised. Sometimes you frighten me.
I'm nothing but a body with a voice. No mind.
What a body. What a voice. Now calm down. The gong rang. The fight's over.
I will not calm down.
Oh, don't calm down.
And I will not be plotted against.
Here we go.
Such nonsense. What do you all take me for? Little Nell from the country. She's been my understudy for over a week. Arrives here for an audition when everyone knows I will be here and gives a performance. Out of nowhere gives a performance.
You've been all through that with Lloyd.
Full of fire and music and whatnot. Carefully rehearsed, I have no doubt. Full of those Bill Sampson touches.
I'm sick and tired of these paranoiac outbursts. I didn't even know Eve Harrington was your understudy until 2:30 this afternoon.
Tell that to Dr. Freud along with the rest of it.
No, I'll tell it to you. For the last time, I'll tell it to you. I love you. You're a beautiful and an intelligent woman.
A body with a voice.
And a great actress. You have every reason for happiness.
Except happiness.
Every reason. But due to some uncontrollable, unconscious drive, you permit the slightest action of a kid like... Of a kid like Eve to turn you into an hysterical, screaming heart. Now, once and for all, stop it.
Well, it's obvious you're not a woman.
I've been aware of that for some time.
Well, I am.
I'll say. Now, come on, Margot. Let's get out of here. I'll buy you a drink.
I'll admit I may have seen better days, but I'm still not to be had for the price of a cocktail like a salted peanut.
Margot, let's make peace.
Terms are too high. Unconditional surrender.
Just being happy. Just stopping all this nonsense about Eve and Eve and me.
Oh, it's not nonsense. I wish it were.
I said before it was going to be my last try, and I meant it. I can't think of anything else to do. I wish I could. Goodbye, Margot.
Phil, where are you going? To find Eve.
That suddenly makes the whole thing believable.
Phil? Oh,
Frankly, Lloyd, I don't understand a word you're saying.
Not only was Margot 2 hours late, but then that childish, heavy-handed routine about not knowing Eve was her understudy.
Well, it's just possible that Margot didn't know.
Of course she knew. Edison told her. Karen, somebody's got to stop Margot. Now, who's going to do it? Who's going to give her that boot in the rear she needs and deserves?
It's going to be a very cozy weekend, dear.
What weekend?
We're driving out to the country tomorrow night, Margot, you and I.
Well, we've spent weekends before with nobody talking. Just be sure to lock up all the blunt instruments.
Lloyd right, of course. That boot Margot had coming to her. Heaven knows she deserved it. But how? How to do it? And then it came to me, my big idea. After all, it would be nothing more than a perfectly harmless joke, which Margot herself would be the first to enjoy, and no reason at all why she herself shouldn't be told about it in time.